The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night and the show pony himself, David Rodgers, alongside the Byron Bagwell and the Dancer Destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland. Tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner and Mitchell Gunner Racing and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursdays at 7 to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports, the all-knowing Mitchell Gunner. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quotes of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in again to another great show and another great edition of On the Spot with David Rodgers. Again, the Byron Bagwell, right along with the Dancer Destroyer, Super Dave Holland. I am your host, David Rodgers. Glad to have you along. Let us start off with our prayer. Please bow your heads. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time to let us be together again, dear Lord, and that we bring the information that is see fit for us to be able to bring to our viewers, and let our viewers do what they need to do with it, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, dear Lord, the United States of America, the most freest, most powerful country in the world today. Yes, we have our own issues and our own problems, but with your guiding and touching hand, we can make this country great again. Thank you for the armed forces, each and every one of those men and women that are serving now, whether it's in the U.S. or whether it's abroad, dear Lord, that you keep a hedge of protection over them as they fulfill their duties to keep us safe from domestic and international terrorism and any other thing and other things, dear Lord, that may harm our country and ourselves. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of those young men and women that are out there doing their duties each and every day, dear Lord, so we can go home and we can be in our own home, in our own residence, and we know that we're safe from any kind of harm and any kind of falter, dear Lord. And if we have a medical emergency, that we know that the medical and fire staff will be there to help take care of whatever issue it is. Thank you for just the American worker, dear Lord, all the truck drivers, all the steel workers, all the railroad workers, anybody that makes America great and grow, dear Lord, that you put your hedge of protection over them and just keep blessing them as we try to keep our economy rolling, dear Lord. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day. It goes in the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you again for just letting us have this great day. Any spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. You got the healing touch and the healing hand, dear Lord. You know what their issues and their problems are, dear Lord. Just touch each and every one of them. Again, thank you for this great day. Thank you for the great rest of the week that you're going to give us. Thank you for letting this brotherhood here come on each and every week and give out the information that is required for us to give to our viewers. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says, Amen. Amen. All right, let us stand. And I'm going to ask Mr. Byron Bagwell if he'd lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Thank you again. Welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host and creator, David Rodgers, right alongside the Byron Bagwell and the Dancer Destroyer, producing and directing the show, Dave Holland. Great to have you guys along. Byron, it's been a great day. It's been a great weekend. We're going to get into some things in regards to that. David, I hope you've had a great week as well. But first, we got some patriotic quotes that we're going to do. Yeah, I know you got at least two of them, and I've got one. So I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to give you the honors.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the honors on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Most people do not really want freedom. Because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened by responsibility.
Interesting.
Most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened by responsibility. Not a founding father and not an author. Well, he's an author, but not in
that
traditional
sense.
In like a novelist. He's not a novelist.
Right. I don't have a clue, David. I'm just going to take a stab. I have no clue. I'm just going to say that's Winston Churchill. I know that's wrong, but I'm going to take a stab at that.
You know what? That's a pretty good
Yeah,
stab.
but I don't think that's right.
It's nowhere near close.
Nowhere even near close.
I'm going to say I have no
I have no
idea.
clue.
Oh boy. Anybody else guessing?
I've only got one comment so far. Hello and welcome. Sam Sheallstad. She's on. Amen and good evening. Good evening to you, ma'am.
Sam and Sheila.
Yep.
Okay, this guy was a psychologist. Matter of fact, some people call him the father of psychology.
Father of psychology. Let's see who we got there.
Did you say gal?
Guy.
No, guy.
Guy. And it's a name everybody's heard too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
I mean, everybody. Everybody knows who this is.
The father of psychology. I know this, and when you tell me, I'm going to kick myself right in the square in the teeth.
local time period or?
Time period. He's
All right, we won't waste too much. Tell us who it is.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, there you go. Sigmund Freud.
I've
Sigmund
heard of
Freud.
that name.
Yes, I have. All right.
Okay. And this one is a sports related one.
Okay.
I wanted to do this one because this guy, to me, is probably the greatest football coach of all time.
Okay.
Oh.
And that gives everybody a little help with guessing who this might be. A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can be who you've always known you could be.
I'm going to go Vince Lombardi.
One more time. A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear, who has you see what you don't want to see, so you can have, so who you can be, who you have always known you could be. Good grief, why?
College coach?
No.
No. I'm
thinking
going to go Vince Lombardi.
What's that guy's name that they did a game out of?
Madden?
Madden?
John Madden? That's another good guess.
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden?
Well, he's college. He said he wasn't a college
He's
coach.
not really he was not really a college coach.
Oh.
I think he coached college, but that would have been a very long time ago. I'm going to give everybody a hint, and Mr. David Rodgers will know the answer to this as soon as I give it to him, so he can be quiet about it.
Okay.
He is the father of the 4-3 defense.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not saying.
He's the guy that invented the
Invented
4-3 defense.
Scott Munnings, Vince Lombardi's a good guess. Steve and Rigdon. Bear Bryant's a good guess, but it's not it.
He once again, he invented the 4-3.
4-3.
Wow, that was a while back.
There was versions
Yeah.
before.
Can I give the answer if nobody guesses it?
Yeah, the thing is, there was.
When he said that, I
he knew exactly who it was.
Yeah.
This guy actually, there were actual sort of versions of the 4-3.
Mitchell Gunner, you guessed it, brother. You got it right on the head.
4-3.
Wow.
I knew Mitchell was going to guess it because Mitchell Gunner is
He's
a Cowboys fan.
What is the four?
So the
4 down linemen and 3
three
linebackers.
linebackers.
You want to get it out, David? You get it out. 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. And Mitchell Gunner's already got it right.
Yeah,
so
he
you can go
has.
ahead and say it, David.
Yeah, Tom Landry is that guy.
Tom Landry is the
So-
coach that I'm talking about, and he really probably is my favorite coach of all time.
4-3 defense. So if you're on the defense side, I'll use X's in this case.
That's Tom Landry.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'd have your corner here, and your safeties here.
Strong safety, free safety.
Yeah, free safety.
Two corners.
So this is basically a 4-3 defense right here. So they got 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and then 4 in the coverage. So that is your 4-3 defense. Like you said, Tom Landry created that.
He created
You can
it.
have it, David, if you want to show it a little bit better or whatever.
No, you did
So-
great.
All right. So
And guess what? The terminology that is used now for those linebackers are not the same
are not the same.
that he used.
No. As a matter of fact, you could just call it like he called it. The X in the middle in the linebacker position was the middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker stayed.
Right. So on the right or the left, Byron, would be?
Well, it depends on what side the
strong side.
of the
So you have
the
a
offense,
strong side linebacker.
which is a razor.
Right. Which means that he's going to light up on the tight end side. The tight end makes that the strong side. And then the other one is the WLB, or the weak side linebacker,
Or the laser.
So that's exactly what that would look like. I've got a play I'm going to draw up for you, or an actual setting that we'll do later on here in the show. But that's your actual 4-3 defense. Great job, Byron. All right, I've got a quote. If y'all could
what
say, what are you doing?
What a unique way to arrest a dry erase board.
Dave Holland just made us laugh here in the studio. He has a unique way to wipe off a dry erase board. Dave, what'd you do?
I just stuck it to my backside and rubbed it back and forth.
You remind me of that commercial, the Charmin commercial with the bears and crap. All right, here we go. Byron, you know this one. It is a founding father. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. Knowledge is in every country the surest basis of public happiness. I think you've used this before. It's probably been a while. He is the founding father. Anybody want to take a guess? Mitchell, Scott, Stephen, Sam,
Mom?
Is she on?
Yeah, she's on.
Is she? Okay, I need to make sure we get the top comments in. Watch that. Here we go. All right. Anybody got a guess? Byron, you want to just take a stab at it?
I want to say that's George Washington.
Okay. Good guess. David?
I have no idea.
Byron got it exactly right. It is George Washington that said that particular quote. Byron's used this quote before. I know it's been a while since you used it, but that's a heck of a guess right there.
It just sounded like something George Washington would say.
Absolutely.
Couldn't remember who made that one. No, yeah, it is what
Absolutely,
it is.
yeah.
I mean, you have to have almost a photogenic memory to keep up with all
Oh.
they're famous, you know.
Yep. So, well, anyway, hey, good job. Hey, good job with the Landry thing. I like that.
Tom Landry.
Yeah, that's when you said 4-3 defense, I was like, man, I knew exactly who that was. And Mitchell Gunner knew exactly who that was. Matter of fact, he's in the studio with us for a few minutes. Picked up his son from the Scouts. Say hello to everybody, Mitchell.
How about them Cowboys?
Oh,
Yeah, let's talk about them Cowboys that lost to the Arizona Cardinals.
They made up for it.
No, bullcrap.
Sunday.
You can't lose to the Arizona Cardinals and tell me that that's still a great team. There is no way on God's green earth.
oh, here we go.
I'm telling you, you know it. That's why he's smiling. You know
Here we
it.
go.
Hey, how in the heck can you slaughter the Giants, which ain't worth a pea anyway? The Giants stinked up the joint. Who'd y'all play the following week?
That is
It was the Cardinals, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That is
Yeah.
the most bizarre team
No,
in the
no, we
NFL.
played the Jets.
The Jets beat them pretty soundly,
Yeah.
and then come back and lose to the Arizona Cardinals. You explain to me how that happened.
Any given Sunday.
They said they just didn't show up.
No, you're right, they didn't. And they are still a good team. They're still defensively good. They proved it this past Sunday. They are a good team.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, look, man, how did Jacksonville get beat by the Houston? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think there's a
yeah.
little bit of a difference though, because I think Houston's a better football team than what
Well,
most people
they won
give.
again this weekend.
That's what I'm
so,
saying. I think they're a pretty good football team. Nobody knew it because of their performance in that first game was just terrible.
Just terrible.
and
All
they'll
right.
bludgeon you. I mean, that
Yeah.
team will bludgeon you.
Yes, they will.
run the football really well.
Yeah. Hey, don't go anywhere because here comes the round table.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
The man who never smiled.
This is the round table where we go around the region and around the table with the latest news and notes. Brought to you by Harry Business, home of the $10 haircut, now located in their new home at 1605 North Temple Avenue across from the Charlie Johns Conference Center on US 301 on the north side of Stark. Stop in and see the new location or schedule an appointment by calling 904-964-3338. We begin in Bradford County, where a Lottie Elementary School student is facing a misdemeanor charge of disrupting as a school function in juvenile court after bringing a plastic gun to school this morning. A student reported to a school administrator that another student brought a gun to school, who immediately reported to the Bradford County Sheriff's Office. The school was locked down during the search, and there were no injuries. Byron?
Sure. Also, in Bradford County, in a follow-up to a previous on-the-spot report, Bradford County Commissioners approved a joint resolution with the Stark City Commission to dedicate State Road 230 Call Street to the memory of Dr. Pete Giannis. Clay County has already approved a similar resolution along SR 230, and this means the entire roadway between Stark and Giannis's home on Kingsley Lake is dedicated.
Oh, wow.
Mitchell?
Pretty good.
Oh, you good?
You can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it. Okay.
As we reported before, Giannis opened his private practice in Stark and began work with Shands Hospital in 1983 after attending medical school at Johns Hopkins University and George Washington University. His career included serving as medical director for Alachua County, Bradford County, and other surrounding regions. Giannis passed away 2 years ago at the age of 65.
Over to Columbia County, where a missing missing Clay County Sheriff's Office K9 has been recovered after he disappeared following a chase on Monday. Deputies say the K9 Chaos got off his leash while chasing Justin DeWitt Pike, 29, on Monday after he ran from the sheriff's deputies. Chaos disappeared in the area of Terry Road and the Florida Gateway College entrance between US 90 and State Road 100, but was spotted and reunited. The dog is in good health.
Florida Commissioner of Agriculture Wilton Simpson says a preliminary assessment estimates 289,000 acres of timber were damaged by Hurricane Idalia, costing more than $64 million in damages. The total cost of damage to the agricultural industry is expected to top over $371 million in losses as the state and companies work to recover.
In national news, the Federal Trade Commission and 17 states' attorneys generals filed a sweeping antitrust lawsuit against Amazon Tuesday, seeking to bar the company from allegedly abusing its power to raise prices for shoppers and levy higher fees against business businesses that sell on its platform.
Hey, there you go. The long-awaited lawsuit filed in Western Washington District Court marks a historical political test of one of the world's most influential companies, as well as the regulators who have promised for years to rein in its allegedly monopolistic practices.
Well, you know, he done a little payback the other day because he actually went to the border and he went live on his phone to show what
I
was
heard.
actually going on and broadcasted it everywhere.
Bezos did?
Was it Bezos?
No, it was,
Oh, no, it was Elon Musk.
Musk.
Yes, Elon
Musk did
Yeah,
that.
That's right, yes.
All right, Mitchell.
Finally, it's time for the recall recap featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have foam mattresses, chip shredders, and portable generators.
Yes, we are aware of this particular deal, but hey, it doesn't hurt to go back and I just seen somebody commented on that. That was from Newsline. Yes, it was, but it doesn't hurt to go back and recap a little bit.
Right.
FXI recalls Novaform, Comfort, Grande, and Dreamaway mattresses because the mattresses could have been exposed to the water during the manufacturing process, allowing mold to develop and posing a health risk to individuals with compromised immune systems. Damaged lungs or an allergy to mold. Consumers with questions about the dryers can call 1-888-886-2057.
And you know how what mold really affects? It really affects those of the elderly the most, and also very young children.
Yep, it does.
Dr. Power Equipment recalls Dr. Power's chipper shredders due to pieces of metal that can come loose from the inside of a shredder's housing and be ejected, posing a laceration hazard. Also, the hopper can become detached from the shredder, posing a laceration hazard. Anyone with questions or concerns can call customer service at 800-550-8448, 45. Leave it alone, send it back.
Yes.
That's a cutting statement right there.
Yeah, it sure is. A cutting statement.
Go.
Go ahead, Mitchell.
Finally, Safeway Fresh Foods recall Sunnyside Farms organic butternut squash due to potential E. coli contamination, which can lead to serious illness. Anyone with questions and concerns can call customer service at 1-856-692-7200.
Okay, leave the butternut squash alone.
And I love it.
These products, plus other recalls, can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we'll feature recalls each week that could pose a threat to you. All right, here's your on-the-spot weather. And while we're waiting on that, Mitchell, and you got a few minutes, I know you got to go. What do you have coming up this Thursday? Do you have anything planned? Actually, I watched the show last week. It was pretty good. There was no doubt about it. Hitting a lot of followers on the page. Also, we've gotten a lot of trends on the page. A lot of motorsports enthusiasts out there that really follow what you're doing, articles that you're writing up. And by the way, I want to say congratulations to that because, hey, all those articles are within text, within everything. They look really good, they sound good, and people are really enjoying it.
Well, I tell you, it's a lot of fun, and I'm no writer by no means.
Right.
But it's about getting the whole story out there of some of these men and women that are winning these events and give them pretty much the whole breakdown. I know sometimes it might be a little boring for some people to read, but we go to everything from the how their reaction times are on a tree and how they make the runs and motion of victory by, just under, 5/10,
right.
5,000ths separating some of these rounds from the other person from getting the win. This Thursday we will not have a show.
Okay.
As many of us, me and Robert, will be traveling to Aiken, South Carolina to participate in the Division II Summit ET Bracket Series Final. The winners of that event will go on to Las Vegas to represent their division. So there's 7 divisions in NHRA, and so the winners of all those will show up in Pro, Super Pro, Sportsman, street bike, pro bike, in your junior dragster category. So it's a really neat thing, and the payout's pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not bad.
Now, where are you sitting at in points compared?
Well, we finished our season out at Gainesville, and I was able to finish 4th in points.
Good.
Let one person get around me that I was tied with, and he finished 1 point higher. But all in all, it was a good season. When you're finishing a top 5 in your
Yeah.
class,
That's good.
you can say that
Yeah.
you done pretty well. It's really hard out there. We've got a lot of great racers. It's not easy. It's a lot of math that's involved. You know, we talked a little bit about bracket racing. It's a science, really. You have to go back and you have to look at your data. You have to see what the weather is, the humidity, the elevation, the track temp, and you have to throw all those variables in to try to come up with what your ET is going to be from one round to the other, and
Right.
it changes quite often by quite a bit of number, especially if you're starting in the morning, going through the afternoon. It's going to heat up throughout the day, but we're looking at some pretty good weather up in Aiken, South Carolina this weekend. One good thing, no rains in the forecast, except for maybe a 20% chance. Saturday morning, it's going to be 49 degrees.
Wow.
To kick off the morning.
Wow.
With a high probably selling around 79. So looking forward to that. We'll be posting a lot of pictures and information of what's going on down or up there, rather. We got some other events coming up, some live streaming of races. We got the 352 shootout coming up at the end of the month of October.
Yep.
We have the fall brawl
Yep.
coming up. We're going to be live streaming that. No One Fights a Long race. And then coming in 2024, we've got some big announcements of some other events that we're going to be live streaming at other areas, not just Gainesville, but in the southern United States.
Yeah, and that's how much the page has grown, and the way that Mitchell has been treating this thing and getting things ready. Yeah, he's actually taken a step up to the next level, and I know when I say he, it's all of us. It's it's part of it's part of our page as well, and he has taken this to an elevation level now, where we can go out of here, David. You know what I mean? He can go out of here and he can go to Orlando or wherever, Georgia, wherever it may be.
Well, we're looking at making some trips to North Carolina, South Carolina. There's possibilities of going a little bit more west in the future, Mississippi, Alabama.
That would be good.
Coming up. So we're staying busy on it. Of course, I feel a little uncomfortable because I haven't been on here in a while because I'm just so used to my page and how we do things there. And I tell you, we got Robert Simpson as a co-host, and he's came on board. He's doing a great job. Brings up great questions to our guests. I know this past Thursday we have one of our own that races out at Gainesville that won the pro class, and it went extremely well. I think we were on there for about an hour and a half. So the shows are going pretty long. We're reaching out to a young female racer. She's 17 years old. I don't want to break all of it out, her name, but we'll post it if I get the email back. I'm trying to get her on. But she will be the youngest pro stock female to ever race in the category when she makes her debut at the Gator Nationals.
Wow, that's awesome right there.
So, wish you luck on that.
Yeah, she's running a little bit of pro mod and NMRA, I think. I think that's the sanction body that they're doing a little bit of pro mod racing, and I think she's going to do really well.
Yeah. Hey, let's bring on Mr. Come here, Zach. Say hello to everybody. Zane. Well, I don't want to call him Zach. Yeah, Zane. Say hello to everybody, Zane.
Hey.
Hello there. Where have you been?
At Scouts.
At Scouts? At Scouts, yeah. You're looking good in that Scout uniform.
Absolutely.
Who put those patches on, Mama or Daddy? I know it wasn't Daddy, so we can just go ahead and eliminate that answer.
Well, I tell you, when I was at Scouts, we had to
We had to
on
go on
ourselves.
ourselves. Yeah, we have.
Mom either.
It wasn't your mom either?
We got a friend to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Looks really good.
Yes,
But
Yeah, we had to do it ourselves. You're right.
but speaking of the page, Dave, it's doing real good. We're shooting on up, looking for 7,000 followers.
Yep.
We're at 6,400 and climbing. It's steadily climbing today. We do hit some slow patches here and there, but
Yep.
that's expected. We'll probably see a little drop in viewership here this weekend. There's no national events going on this weekend before NHRA travels out to, I think they're next in Texas.
You know, David, one thing, and it doesn't matter. You know, when you're planning up an event, you know, gosh, we got to go around college football or pro football or the Gators or the Noles or whatever. Racing, it doesn't matter. Hey, they don't care if the Gators are on. They don't care if the Noles are on. They don't care if Georgia's on. Hey, they're going to watch whatever he's live feeding because I can assure you, I've seen numbers, live numbers, in the upper 50s and 60s on these events that he's been doing. And, you know, they'll come back and forth. And in the middle of football game, you would think, hey, they're going to watch the Gators. Nope. Forget it.
Well, you know, and one of the things that we have applied, you know, over the years is the ability for families who can't make it out to Gainesville to watch their loved ones race. And that right there, we have been doing that for free and plan on continue doing that for free. And it's actually helped us generate where we can do live streams of racing events and get paid for.
Right.
So it's been a real helpful tool by doing that. And I tell you, you know, I love the sport, every aspect of it.
Absolutely.
There's always a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Have y'all been keeping up with the standings?
I have not looked at the standings yet. What's my girl doing? I haven't.
Well, we'll start off with Top Fuel.
Okay, we'll start with Top Fuel.
Doug Coletta, I think he has a 52 points lead. I've got the points on my page.
Right.
Over Leah Pritchett, which that is Tony Stewart's wife.
Yeah.
And, you know, he has came so close so many times of getting a championship and has fell short. So he's really hoping this year may be his turn to win a championship.
Yeah.
It's been looking very, very good for him. He fell a little short this past weekend, but you know, in 2 weeks he'll be going at it again and trying to expand that points lead. In Funny Car, Bob Taskus III, he is now the points leader over Robert Height. And Ron Capps is in there as well, and it's a much tighter race between those for a championship. And then when you get into pro stock, it really does get tight. So Erica Anders, she has, you know, they started out in the year having a lot of issues with their car at the Gator Nationals. She was very disappointed, and so was the whole team when the car wouldn't start. First race of the year.
First race of the year.
And they haul it back to the pits and put it up on the jack stands, raise it up, car fires right up.
Yep.
No problem. But they were battling some other issues, but looked like they have figured out what those problems were. They started finding horsepower. She started winning a couple of races. I think she's got 2 wins on the year. And she has made it to quite a few semifinals. The past 2 races, she's made it to the semifinals and exit out without making it, you know, all the way to the final.
Right.
But with her doing that, she is now the points leader.
I knew my girl would be there. Yeah.
I want to say only by 4 points or something like that.
Hey,
So
it's
really
still in
tight.
the lead.
You have four guys there that is really tight.
Yeah.
For there, you got Erica. You have Greg Anderson. He's starting to come on really strong here in the countdown. He's won 2 races back to back. So he got his 102nd and his 103rd of his career. You have Dallas Glenn in there, and you got Troy Coughlin Jr. That is going to be the battle for the next 3 races of the remaining of the countdown. You look at Pro Stock Motorcycle, Gage Herrera. This young man, he's been racing bikes for years. They brought him in late last year, and he made some appearances. Unfortunately, by making those appearances, exits him out for the chance of being the Rookie of the Year because he ran those 4 races.
Right.
But he is sitting very comfortable in the lead, and I don't see anybody challenging him from where he's at. If he wins out in Texas, he's pretty much got it summed up. He will be the champion. As far as the Rookie of the Year honors, you have Chase Van Zandt, which we've had on our podcast as a guest.
Yep.
Him, and we have Tucker that races for Elite Motorsports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of his first name.
He's Erica's partner, isn't he?
Yes,
Yeah, or
he is.
teammate.
And so them two, they're battling out for the
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year honors. And right now, I think Chase maybe have a little bit of a lead on him because Chase has made it to some semifinal rounds.
Right.
And he's done very, very well in his first year debut as a rookie. We want to mention real quick, if you don't mind.
No, go
I'll
for
try
it.
to talk as fast as I can
No,
so
no,
y'all
go
can
ahead.
get back
Go
to your
ahead.
show.
Go ahead.
But our heart and prayers go out to Angie Smith. She fell off her bike at the end of the traps this past weekend
Ooh.
at 196 or
Oh.
198 miles an hour. She broke both of her feet, and she's got a lot of road rash on her left arm. I think it's her left. Maybe it's the right. But anyway, road rash on one of them really, really bad, and she is supposed to go in and see a plastic surgeon and try to get that fixed this week or early next week. But
Wow.
she's done for the year. That's Matt Smith's wife, MSR Racing. So when you see a bike go down like that, your heart kind of
Oh,
stops.
yeah.
At
Especially at that speed.
190 something
Yeah.
miles
Yeah.
an hour, my goodness.
But-
That's
Just goes to show you how safe those leathers are that
Leathers
they
are,
wear
yeah.
with the Kevlar. They got protection pads
Yeah.
all in them.
I have a question before you get out of here. Earlier you were saying the track was, or the temperature was going to be about 40 low.
49 is going to be the low.
Does that temperature affect the track and the tires on the cars?
It does. It actually does.
a good question.
Like, for instance, say if you're out of Gainesville, and it doesn't matter if you're in a pro car or you're in an ET car, if it gets real hot, it can get really slippery out there.
Oh,
If it gets extremely cold, sometimes it can get too cold to run because the track will get so tight, the
Tight.
rubber will get so tight on the track
yeah.
that you will chunk it up in chunks. And say
I
like
see.
you look at NASCAR, when they're racing the ovals, you don't want to get up there near the wall because all that rubber
Push.
is
It's
pushed up.
pushed.
So you're like racing on marbles. There on an
Yeah.
oval, it's kind of like the same thing on a drag strip when that rubber chips up like that.
Wow.
So,
It'd make you slide all over the place.
Wow.
so and actually, a year or so back, down in Bradenton, they were trying to do the snowbirds, and it got too cold. They had to cancel the event because the track temp. Now that's all the way down in Bradenton.
Yeah.
It got
Yeah.
so cold they had to cancel the event, and this is a big event. I mean, this is big money, and they just couldn't run on track surface like that.
Gets too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to lose some money instead of lose someone's life.
So tell him. Oh, go ahead,
I
Byron.
wanted to say something. Mitchell, you're always welcome on the show, man. You know that. Come back anytime you want to. Sit around, stay for the show, whole show if you can.
Did you
we
make
talked-
that good decision?
No, of course I made that decision.
I didn't say he could come back.
I thought I could speak for you with this because he's our brother.
No, he's got his own show.
Well, I guess you can't come back then. Listen to this man.
That means we can't have David on mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. See,
See, I'm welcome, but you're not.
there you go. Yeah. Did you make that command decision?
Yeah. I made it.
What you thought?
I
was
made
the
it.
show.
I made it.
Well, you can probably definitely tell my compassion for the sport of drag racing.
Oh, of
just in the
course,
voice
yeah,
and talking about it. And we also want to encourage people that follow motorsports to go check out the other pages as well. Go check out Drag Illustrated with Wes Buck. Puts on a great show. You have the one with Erica Anders and Stevie Fast and Lyle Barnett. I can't think of the name of it. She'll probably kill me next time I see her for not mentioning the name of her
Is that
of the show.
about Courtney? Is that this is Courtney?
It's with Courtney
Yes,
and,
yeah.
and Stevie Fast Jackson and Lyle Barnett. They're both pro mod racers and grudge racers.
Right.
They have a show. You have the Monday Morning Racer show. There's quite a few out there that's really good. And what I like about the Monday morning racer is he focuses a lot on these Nitro Chaos events, which is really cool. Nostalgia dragsters and funny cars, and it's really cool to see that these cars are still running down the track today.
So there's West Buck Show. I know you mentioned it. Who's the other guy that we like so much there?
That is Joe Costello.
Joe Costello, yeah, Joe Costello's show, yeah.
And you know, he's staying really busy. He still tries to do his show, and he does a lot of it analyzing for Fox Sports now out in the pits and stuff like that. He does that. He announces the sportsman categories when they race as well. So Joe does a wonderful job.
Yeah, he does.
He's a really outstanding guy.
So
but yeah, go check them pages out as well, and you know, sometimes they'll share ours, and that's what it's all about is sharing each other's pages for the
those numbers are absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, they really are.
They are, and they just keep growing and growing and growing. And Mitchell always sends us an update when there's always a good step up. And man, I'm telling you right now, some of those numbers are very, very outstanding. And I can categorize that page, Mitchell. I know you probably will say no at this time, but I mean, you're right there with West Buck and Costello on some of the things that you do. Yeah. Maybe the numbers don't quite show, but you are. And by the way, I was messing with Byron and Mitchell, but Mitchell got his start right here. If you haven't seen him in a while, we try to bring him on. Now, we always try to talk him into coming on, but I know he's got things that he's got to do, and he's got his own page. He's, you know, the other page that he's running. So Mitchell got his start right here, and he's welcome anytime. Byron will make a command decision on that.
You're going to make a command decision.
That's me and you make a command decision. Yeah, both of us. Instead of just
I just left you right out of that, didn't I?
That was great, man. Hey, see, that's what TV's all about. But you can catch Mitchell on Thursday nights at 7 when he's got a guest and when he's got a show going on. This week, he's going to go up there and try to win some money, Dave.
Yeah.
I hope he can.
We're going to try to do our best up there, and you know, the one thing that we want to do, we want Team Gainesville to win.
Yeah.
So if no one's familiarized how the bracket finals are placed, all the teams in Division II goes up there, and we compete. And for each round a person wins, they gain a point for their team. And at the end of the night, those points are calculated, and whoever has the most points
wins a team
they
award?
win the team championship. The track gets a Wally, and the drivers, they get jackets.
Really?
Yeah. So,
hello there.
And unfortunately, the year that they did win, I did not go. So I didn't get a jacket.
That's all right. You got a chance for one this year.
But we're really hoping that we have that chance up there. Just want to mention something real quick.
Yep.
Jordan Lassick. This guy, he's been a grudge racer for years. He got the call from Justin Bond to jump in their Bahrain 1 Racing Camaro to make his debut last weekend. And what does he do? He qualifies number 2, and he wins the dang thing.
Wins it.
His debut race in the Pro Mod category, and he goes on and wins. You know, that's just, you know, like Cinderella stories there. You know, rookies coming on and just, you know, mowing down the field.
And you need to check out this page, really, man. I was just looking at the pictures that you post. It's a colorful page. He's got all kinds of pictures, all kinds of cars, talks about the racers, and writes up a nice article on each and every one of them, Byron. I tell you, that page is really going well, and we're very proud of Mitchell. And as you said, man, hey, you welcome to come back here anytime and co-host with us anytime, because we miss you, brother. I really miss. Let me tell you what I miss. I miss the local stuff that you used to get into, and I know you still follow it. I know you still do it. I miss the local stuff. Me, Byron, and Dave miss the local stuff that you used to chime in with and get in with, and that's what really's made our show really. the start of those kind of things has really made our show. And Mitchell was a big part of it. But like I said, hey, always our brother, always can come on, right?
Absolutely.
And hey, we just want you to succeed on that side as we are trying to do on this side.
And what's so funny, I'll wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just wake up, and I'll scan and see if there's any news breaking of anything, because a lot of stuff comes from California as well.
You got it bad.
Oh, you're posting on our page too, aren't you?
Yeah, at night.
And you posted some stuff on our page too, haven't you? Like if it's like breaking and type deal.
If it's like more like local type stuff, dealing with Gainesville or an event that's happening in Florida, I'll post a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've noticed you've done that.
But you might remember the name Mark Pollock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he ran Pro Stock, and now he runs the Factory Stock Showdown car. And this past weekend, he reset the record, and his pass was 7.583.
Wow.
In that car. So
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So
It's fast.
yeah, he's still racing, and now his daughter, she does a lot of PR work for a lot of teams, and she's tied in with Natalie Torrance. They work together with their business that they have going on.
Yeah, that guy's been around for a very long time.
The Cowboy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, Mitchell, give everybody a shout out where they can catch that show.
On the Spot Motorsports Media, come join us, come join the page, like us, get updates. We do talk a lot about NHRA, but we do a lot of following of NASCAR, and we'll post the stage winners for all the different categories. We'll post the winners, and every once in a while, when there's some breaking news, we'll do that as well.
I gotcha. Mitchell, thank you for stopping in. I know you got to get the little man home. Give me a hug. I love you. Do you want to say bye-bye to everybody?
Bye.
All right. We love you. Go give Byron a hug, too. Yeah, give Byron a hug. Got to give Dave a hug, too. So, again, Mitchell will not have a show this week because he's going up there to see if he can win something up there. And where?
It's Aiken, South Carolina, and the track is Carolina Dragway.
Sounds
So
good.
it's just barely on the other side of Augusta.
Are you driving the car up?
No, we're not. We're
trailering it?
trailering it.
Good deal. You got somebody take it? You got somebody you got to set up, or did you get that new truck?
We're going to rent a truck.
Okay.
And we've been tell you a funny story. So we've been looking at a truck.
I know you have. That's why I asked.
My coworker goes, Mitchell, how much is it to cost to rent one? I said, it's $400. He says, well, $400 is a whole lot cheaper than $32,000.
Yes, it is. You got that right. All right. Mitchell Gunner, everybody. Thank you, Mitchell. You
Thanks,
can catch
Mitchell.
him. Hey, man, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
And what
man,
Byron
glad to
says
see you.
goes. Yeah, man.
I'm really glad to see you.
Me too, man. Yeah, we miss you. That's for sure.
I miss going out and eating with y'all.
Oh, yeah. By the way, we're going to go do that. When you get back, me, you, and Dave, we're going to plan that up so we can go out to eat when you get back.
Dwight Allen said good luck. So do I.
yeah,
So does
I
David.
appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
be safe.
Be
Good
safe.
roads, catch the lights right. Bring
Is
back.
Is there
bring
going to be
back
live
that
stream
trophy.
anywhere? Can we see this somewhere?
We were going to live stream it, but we didn't get the okay to do it.
Okay.
Which is,
That's okay.
with something like that, it's really hard to live stream. So
Yeah.
we might record some videos and post some
Okay,
videos and
that would
stuff
be
like
great.
that on the page. I just want to get the authority from our Division II director
Yeah.
and make sure that's okay.
Good.
And also, we're going to have an NHRA photographer. I'm also planning on having her on the show a little
Good.
bit as well at some point to talk about her role, because she goes to a lot of national events, and most of those pictures are from her.
Good. All right. All right, David. Hey, let's we're gonna get the weather here. Let's see what we got coming up locally.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Well, here's the weather update right here. Byron, your favorite part of it. the allergy report right here. The OTS allergy forecast. Top allergen, ragweed, grasses, and
Shinnepods.
that's right. Wednesday, it's going to be low, 0.8.
Why is our allergies going berserk?
I don't
right now,
know,
David?
man. I don't know because mine sure is. On Thursday, going to rise up a little bit to 4.4. Friday is going to be 6.3. And then, of course, Saturday for the weekend is going to be a 7. Good gosh almighty Friday. I can see why we're getting our allergies are bothering us. How about it, Dave? How about the 4-day forecast? The OTS 4-day forecast starting Wednesday. Hey, heavy rains and thunderstorms each day. Wednesday, 80% chance of rain, high of 86, low of 69. Thursday, 80% chance of rain, 83, low of 69. Friday, game day, tornadoes. I hope it ain't raining in Oakleaf. Friday, 70% chance of thunder boomers, 82 for a high, low of 68. Be nice weather for us over there during the night. And then, of course, Saturday, 50% chance of rain, high of 85, low of 69. All right, David. I tell you, we got a lot of things going on. I know it's getting near the top of the hour here. Again, welcome on the spot with David Rodgers. Hey, the Byron Bagwell is with us.
Absolutely.
Who's that? Super Dave Holland, the Dancing Destroyer, and myself, David Rodgers, and always glad to see Mitchell. And it was just a chance for me to get at you, brother. You know
Man, I think you were messing with me.
yeah, I was like,
I played it up. We played it off
really good, didn't we? Yes, we did. Hey,
We doing what's today?
but we are not. But I am going to give a winner, though, for sure. Yeah, I've got to get a winner. And Byron, we drew one earlier. And I'm going to give a congratulations to somebody here in just a minute. But we have Wednesday 19 trivia at Fun Point with Michael Heater and the Fantastic Fire Brigade. That's his little deal there. If you're looking for a party or a special event, contact Michael Heater at the Fantastic Fire Brigade. You can catch him on his page. You can catch him on Messenger. You can catch him on Facebook. So, again, if you have a party or something going on, make sure you contact Michael Heater and the Fantastic Fire Brigade. He also hosts trivia on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. at the Fun Point. Go down there and check out trivia. If not, you can come Thursday nights. You can come both nights, where I host trivia at 7:30 at the Downtown Grill. We always have fun there as well. That starts at 7:30 on Thursdays. And then again on Friday, Byron, me and you're going to be calling a football game from Oakleaf as the Tornadoes are looking to go 6-0 against the Oakleaf Knights. And by the way, you, Chuck, and Kevin are up to some shenanigans. I'm starting to find out this each and every day. And I bet you it comes to fruition on Friday.
I bet I'll be riding a horse Friday.
What? Are you kidding me? Oh boy, here we go. Sir Lancelot.
Yeah, okay, keep holding.
All right. Hey, that Canadian smoke, Byron. Dwight Allen says, absolutely. Dwight, brother, love you. All right. I've got a winner. David, we've got a winner. And the winner for this month is Sam Shee Allstott.
Sam and Sheila Allstott.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah. Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You get a $25 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill. I'll write it up. And David, you'll see her, right? Will you see her, you think? Maybe? Possible? Don't know?
Don't know.
Don't know. Okay, well, we'll make sure we get it to you, or you can stop by and get it probably Thursday night at the Downtown Grill. So thank you, guys, she said. Well, you're quite welcome anytime. Absolutely. We drew your name out of the hat, so congratulations on that feat there. All right, Byron. What time we got, David? Where are we at on the time there, Byron?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock straight up.
2 minutes. No, it's 2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes still.
It's 8
Okay,
o'clock.
all
Might
right.
as well.
All right, let's talk about a couple of things here. Sure. Coming soon, the Food Express. Owner Lindsay Souls. They will serve breakfast and lunch items on the menu. Egg and cheese burritos, bacon and cheese burritos, and sausage and cheese burritos. And for lunch, burgers and more. Classic cheeseburger, regular, hamburgers, hot dogs, chili cheese dogs, cheesesteak sandwiches, fries, chili cheese fries, drinks, water, sodas, and coffee. She will be in the empty lot between Capital City and Winkler's starting on October 9th, 10th, 12th, and 13th from 8 a.m. till. And Byron, I'll show you the prices. I can't believe it.
Breakfast burritos. Wow.
$4, $5, $6. Yeah, $4, $5, and $6. Can you believe that? And her burgers are like for a combo, $8, $9, and $10. Just depending on
not
which
bad.
combo you. No, it's not bad at all, David.
bad at all.
You're gonna have to check that out, man. So that's Lindsay Souls. She'll be opening up that food truck. She'll start on October 9th, 10th, and 12th, and 13th from 8 a.m. till October 21st. We've got Hot Wheels and Ours event sponsored by Mopar Muscle, North Florida. Thorough Voice and Ladies Scorch Challenger presented by Florida Misfits Association Incorporated and Loyal Order of the Moose Lodge number 624, which Byron's a member of. All years, models, makes, cars, trucks, motorcycle show awards. We're going to have a best of show, a theme car, costume competition, and the top 20. That'll be done at 11 a.m. That date is Saturday, October 21st, 2023. Time 8 a.m. till noon, rain or shine. Registration from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. David, $25 if you want to get in. Location, 624 Northeast William Street, Lake City, Florida. Breakfast will be available for purchase. There will be door prizes, silent auction, a raffle, and a 50-50 drawing. Information on this event, call Richard Stockram at 1-352-457-3307. 1-352-457-3307. Leave a message and they'll get back with you. Or Jim Davis at the Moose Lodge. Phone number 1-772-528-0891. You can leave a message for him as well. And proceeds will go to the local charities in Lake City. October 13th, Family Fun Fall Fest at the Logo Church, 24078 U.S. Highway 301, Lawdy, Florida, 32058. Free dinner, pumpkin carving, outdoor movie, starts at 7. Contact Chris Elkins at 904-424-4085. You got to bring your own pumpkin, Byron, if you're going to carve one. November the 4th at the Logo Church in Lawdy again. Free community-wide Thanksgiving dinner at 4 p.m. in their Tatum Hall. They'll have games, food, and live music, and much, much more. So you can contact Chris Elkins again at 904-424-4085. Also, don't forget to check out, Byron, the North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce page, as there's a lot of events coming up. You can go click on North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce page, open it up, goes to news and events, and they'll list everything that they've got coming up, even into next year, because, you know, she talked about the Strawberry Fest, talked about the fair and everything. So we have even events going into next year. So make sure you check out that page. Don't forget to visit Chris Davis at what? The Barnyard Diner. Barnyard Diner, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Make sure you keep up with his Facebook page. Sometimes they're closed, sometimes they're open, just depending on what they have. I know she was looking for some help the other day. I did see that. So if you're looking for a good job, make sure you contact Chris Davis. And I don't know his phone number right off. I've got it programmed in, but you can stop out there and talk to Chris and, of course, Casey, and they'll give you the information that be required for that. Also, Byron, what else is coming up? Tornado football Friday night, as the Tornadoes looking to go 6-0, going to Oakleaf over behind Argyle Forest right there on the backside of Middleburg and Orange Park. Me and Byron will be there. Special start time, Byron. What time?
The kickoff is at 7.
That's right.
The pregame show is at 6:30.
That's exactly right. You can catch me and Byron on that call. Always have fun, me and this guy, man. Bless you, David. We always have fun, man. If we're not calling the game, we're always saying something funny. Something's going on. We're trying to recognize people. So make sure you tune in to the radio broadcast. Byron and myself would like for you to go there live, if you can, to support the Tornadoes. But if you can't,
Hey, Eagle Country 106.3 does a heck of a job. This man right here, he got a voice for radio.
so does this man too. And I tell you, both of us combined, I'm telling you, it's 2 peas in 1 pod. And I got to throw, hey, Chuck Kramer, Lynn Bellis, Danny Bellis, and Big Kevin.
Big Kevin
does a great job on producing that for us. Man, if it wasn't for them, hey, we wouldn't even be doing this at all. You know, he always says that we make him look good. But you know what, Byron? He makes us look good, man.
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort,
He
man.
really
Yeah.
is. I mean, he makes us look good. They all make us look good. So
So
Yeah.
the game last week
Yep.
with Keystone, I didn't catch the score.
48 to 6.
6.
Wow.
Yeah, the Tornadoes dominated them from every fashion of the game. Even Byron talked about it a little bit on the Tornado Game Report, Tornado Game Day Report, which will be coming up. It was
Unbelievable.
just
I mean,
unbelievable.
they scored in every phase of the game again.
Yeah.
The defense scored, special teams scored,
Yeah.
and the offense scored a whole lot of points.
Yes,
last
they did.
game. So it was a good game for Radford.
Yeah, and all roads lead. Me and Byron talk about this all the time. All roads lead to another deal with Coco. If everything pans out like me and Byron says, like we think it should, all roads lead to Coco. I'm just hoping, like Byron said to me earlier, that we get them in the state championship game and not the state semifinal. That's where we want to see them at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see them in the state championship game. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think these boys from Bradford got something for them.
Yeah, yeah,
I really do. because
Payback.
Last year was not.
yeah, yeah. You're right. And of course, football. Mine and Byron's Jaguars won. Hello there. Got a victory over the Atlanta Falcons in London. And you said they're in Germany this coming up week? Or is it back in London?
It's in London again.
Okay.
I couldn't remember if they were
Okay.
going to be. There was a team that played in Germany, and I couldn't remember if Jaguars were going to be that team. But they're back in London again against the Bills. That's going to be a good football game. I mean, that's going to be a good one.
Yes.
Everybody's concerned. But I think it's going to be a really good football game. Bills have some problems with good defenses,
Yep.
and Jacksonville's got a good one.
Yes, they do.
So,
It ought to be a really good game. David, your Cincinnati Bengals, man, we got to get them on track, brother. Hey, they got too many weapons, man, to be where they're at right now. I think Burrow's injury is lagging them a little bit. Once he can get healthy, I think that team will be up and coming again. What do you think, Byron?
they've got issues on the offensive line, David.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know about
Yeah.
their injury situation, but I can tell you something that did happen this week. The Jaguars are going to be healthy again. Which
Yes,
means
they
all
are.
their starters should be in
Yep.
this Sunday, and that's going to be a good football game.
Hey, and I want to say something else too, Byron. You know, we've gone back to college football just for a second. The Florida Gators took one in the shorts. I get it. That guy ran all over that Davis kid, ran all over them, 284 yards. But man, look, you were world beaters against Tennessee. You come into another good team, man, in the Kentucky Wildcats that's had your number the last 3 or 4 years. But let me just say something, Byron, before you break that game a little bit. Y'all need to give Napier a chance, man.
Oh, please.
God, but look, Norvell didn't do what he did in 2 years. It took him 3 or 4 years to clean house and go through the growing pains. And they said, hey, we're going to give you that time. That's why they won 10 games last year, and that's why they're the 5th ranked team in the country. It should be higher to me, but anyway, of course, I'm a homer. So, you know, of course I wanted to be higher. But anyway, you know, it took Norvell this time. But they're calling for Napier's head already, man. This cat ain't even got a chance to do anything.
Look, you have to understand something. That Kentucky team
Yeah.
has a tremendously big offensive line.
Yeah.
And a really good big running back.
Yeah.
And they bludgeon people.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Gators aren't built to play teams like that. I
No.
don't think anybody in college football is built to play teams
No.
like that anymore. So they really got manhandled.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, when you have 13 people on the field and the other team is still scoring a touchdown,
Yeah.
you're getting manhandled.
Yeah.
Look, you're not the only one that's going to get that, by the way. Do not be surprised if Kentucky beats Georgia.
Yeah, and that's
Do
exactly
not
right.
be
Don't not
surprised.
be surprised.
It may not happen, but don't be surprised if it does, because if they go up there and they play like they did against Florida, Georgia's going to have a devil of a time beating them with the offense not functioning like it should.
Hey, that's going to be one of the college pick'ems games. Do you want to go ahead and give it away yet, or you want to wait till Friday, or do you want it before you say? What do you like? Who do you want to take?
That game is in Lexington, isn't it?
No, it's in Athens.
Athens.
Yeah, it is. Between the hedges.
I need to think about that one, David. I want to say Kentucky's going to beat them because
I want to say it too.
if
You want to
they-
reserve your pick?
If they control the clock against Georgia, because Georgia's defense is a little bit better than Florida's, if they control the clock and run like they did, sort of like they did against Florida, Kentucky's in trouble, or Georgia's in trouble, excuse me, because Georgia hasn't been scoring a heap of points.
Right.
They may get beat by 2 touchdowns if that's the case.
Maybe.
But man, oh my goodness,
That's gonna be a
does
heck
the
of a
former
game.
FSU former football defensive
Coordinator.
coordinator
That's now the head coach of
FSU
Kentucky.
that's now coaching Kentucky has got those boys playing great football.
David,
TJ Maxx.
is it open?
I don't know.
Is
Do
it
you
open
know
yet,
TJ
David?
Maxx is open?
TJ Maxx? Have you seen
No.
it? It is not. Okay, it is not open yet. But
Dwight Allen,
she
hold
did-
on for just a minute,
Okay.
brother. I want to ask everybody a question. I want your response
I
to
think
it.
Yeah,
sometime
hang on,
in
Dwight.
November.
Huh?
I think sometime early November.
Early
Early
November, but they are hiring 70 people, right? Is what I heard.
They're hiring.
They're hiring right now, so if you're looking for a job, make sure you go and apply TJ Maxx, whatever online, whatever you need to do. Also, you can catch all that information too on the North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce page.
Yeah.
Pam Whittle, and they've got that on the page as well. Go ahead, B. Let's go ahead and roll with it.
Well, I want to say one thing before we go on, and I don't want to take anything away from the athletes that played this game because it was a really good football game. But Notre Dame is still one of the Cinderella
Yes.
sweethearts of college football. They should not have beaten Duke. I'm
No.
sorry, they should not have, and that game was horribly officiated.
Yes, it was, and you're right. They shouldn't have beat them, and they still only beat them by one score.
It's
So
one score.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Duke's a good football team too. Anyway,
we'll find out in a couple of weeks.
anyway, what's the question? What were you asking, David?
Let's go on. I was just going to go over. I pretty much went over some of the local stuff here. Went over the local news and everything. Well, we got everybody still on. Let's talk about. Let's get into your segment a little bit, and let's talk about some of the things that we talked about today. And that particular topic that I'm going to let you introduce. Let's get into that a little bit.
First off, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Patriots, infidels,
Yep.
and miscreants,
And knights.
and knights. Well, that's nice.
Yeah. 'Cause aren't you a knight?
I'm in.
Yeah. That. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I told you and Chuck and that Big Kev's got some shenanigans going on.
Well, we do. I want everybody to think about this question for just a second.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I want you to think about this. It's really, people are going to laugh about it, but it's not funny.
No, it isn't.
It really is not. So, one of you honest people, law-abiding people, religious people, whatever you are that watching this show that have a good moral base. Dave Holland included. Decide to absolutely lose your mind, and you go pull a fire alarm. What happens to you?
Boy, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. You are too, David.
Yeah.
So are you.
So is anybody.
So is anybody.
So you're taking a tour of Washington, D.C., and you are next to the Congress building, and you decide to lose your mind at that point,
Oh, goodness.
and you decide to go pull a fire alarm while Congress is in session.
Oh.
What is going to happen to you?
I know what's going to happen.
Well,
You
not
will
only
be
is pulling a fire alarm it's a fine. It's
Yeah.
a crime. But impeding a session of Congress is a little bit more stiff than that, because pulling a fire alarm is a misdemeanor.
Right.
Impeding a session of Congress
Federal offense.
is a federal offense. It's a
Yeah.
felony.
Yeah.
Okay?
When you pull that alarm, does the sprinklers come on automatically?
Not the Capitol.
No.
There's
Good question, though.
Congress, because there's too
Good
much
question.
that can be damaged in there from that. So what we had last Friday night was a congressman who decided he wanted to interrupt the session of Congress to keep a vote from happening.
Oh,
Well,
So we have this gentleman, and that gentleman's name is Jamal Bowman. Congressman Jamal Bowman. Let me say it again. Congressman Jamal Bowen, who goes into the Capitol building and not the Capitol building, the Congress building, and pulls the fire alarm.
oh my goodness.
There was a bolo put out for him by the Capitol Police. Then all of a sudden they realized, guess what? Oh my God, that's a Congress member. Nothing's been done about it.
What?
Look, nothing has been done about it. This man committed a felony, and he committed a misdemeanor by pulling the fire alarm. You, me, or anybody else would have done that. We would be sitting in a jail cell right now.
yes, we sure would.
But they're above the law. They say nobody's above the law, and they prosecute Donald Trump for stupid crap. But yet somebody actually commits a crime that's recorded on camera because they got him on camera doing it. And he's still running around free doing whatever he wants to do. You tell me how much nonsense that is. They're going to keep on messing with the American public when they get informed about stuff like this until somebody does something stupid. They have to enforce our laws.
Yeah.
The law that was made about impeding a congressional session was meant to protect all of Congress. Yet you have a congressman actually violating that federal law, and nobody even bats an eye about it in the police force, in the DOJ, or anywhere else. It takes a Republican congressperson to go, no, you are not doing that, we are going to remove you. They are actually trying to remove this guy, and he's calling them Nazis because of it, which is utterly ridiculous. He broke the law. He should pay the price for it. I am so sick of these politicians getting away with breaking the law and nothing happening to them. Unless you're Donald Trump. If you're Donald Trump, you even look crossways and they think they can pin something on you. That's exactly what they're going to do. It's nonsense. This man should be spending time in a federal penitentiary for what he did. Probably not a long time, but it shouldn't matter. Because he never should be part of our government again. Because what he did was wrong. He broke the law.
Especially to stop a vote.
I watched a video Kat Kammett put out, not last night, the night before.
Oh, I bet that was good.
And she was just like, are you kidding me? This is a circus. We have a Congress member breaking our laws and nobody does anything about it. Call your Congress people and tell them, no, don't tell them, demand that man be arrested and charged with those two crimes because he broke those two laws. They have him on video doing it.
Here's the problem with this whole thing, and I see where Byron's coming from here. And it's just not this guy here. It's both sides. Both sides are doing silly and stupid stuff that the American public is aware about, and like you said, that they're on camera or they're being recorded, whatever the case may be, and nothing is done to anybody, but nobody at all.
I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
That's exactly
and
what
you
I
break
said.
the law, you should be punished for that. You are an American citizen, and you're supposed to be held to the same standard as all Americans are, but you're not. You're held up above us like you're royalty, and that's what we fought a war of independence over.
Yeah.
We killed our own kinsmen.
Yes, we did.
To keep from dealing with stuff like this. And now you're up in Washington, D.C. doing the same things. And it infuriates me. Time after time after time, we know people break the law that's in our government, and they do nothing about it. They say, oh, it's all right. A president, during my time on this earth, has perjured himself on stand. And nobody even batted an eye about it. He broke the law. I'd have been sitting in a jail cell, just like anybody else.
Yeah,
and that's not the worst thing that's happened. I can tell you they've caught politicians doing worse. And there have been some of them that have been convicted and punished. But most of these people get away scot-free with doing stuff like this. And it's absolute, utter nonsense. Now, I will tell you this. There are Congress people that are working on kicking him out of the Congress right now, which they should do, and they should put a stipulation that he never can run for Congress again when they remove him from office. The other thing that I want to see happen when they get all of the evidence together and figure all this out, I want them to make him legally, I'm not talking about anything stupid, but I'm talking about legally, make him inform everybody who was involved with that. Because I don't for 1 second believe this guy just went over there and did that by himself. If he was told to figure out a way to stop it, I want to know who told him. And I don't care if it's Joe Biden or that idiot from South Florida that's the head of the DOJ, the DNC right now, Wasserman Schultz. I don't care if it was other congressional members. If they were involved in him breaking those laws, they need to be charged too, and they need to be removed from Congress or the Senate or anywhere else.
Here's the only problem, Byron. It's tight sealed, tight lip, tight sealed. Nobody's just like the drugs that made it into the White House. Still don't know, right? Still don't know who brought that in there.
I do.
No.
I don't know who brought it in, but I know whose it was, and I'm going to start saying it right now. That was Joe Biden's drugs. Know why?
You got proof?
Can you prove that he didn't?
Can you prove that he did?
Exactly.
So
it's reasonable doubt.
Yep.
Anybody that it was in the White House at that time.
Yeah.
It's under reasonable doubt because guess what?
They
won't tell us who did it.
You know who
So
I fault more
anybody's
than
suspect.
him? You know who I'm more at fault than him? White House security.
No,
White House.
they can't do anything about it, David. If the president looks at him and the DHA looks at him and goes,
Well, what I'm saying is that they're not being allowed, or they don't want to, whatever the case may be, to do their jobs on this investigation
They won't.
of who. I assure you, right now,
They don't
I can.
do this.
Of course, they
and so
do.
does everybody, and so
yeah,
does
of
everybody
course.
else in the United States.
Now, I have a guess.
Exactly whose cocaine that was.
Right.
But I can tell you this: the way investigators handle an investigation where they can't figure out who it was, everybody that was there is under suspicion.
Yeah,
And that's exactly how I'm going to treat it until they come out and tell us who it is.
exactly.
So it could be anybody from Joe Biden.
To anybody.
The way that we do things now, prove you're innocent instead of being innocent until proven guilty. That's the way you treat us. Why can't we treat you the same way? See what path you've opened up? That's you. That's you, Democrats. You've done that, and I really truly mean that. I am passed through listening to headlines like this. They catch somebody red-handed on video pulling a fire alarm to impede a session of Congress because he didn't want this vote to go through because the Republicans were trying to do certain things with these spending bills before they closed down our government to get our government to continue on, and he didn't want the vote because he didn't like what they were putting as addendums. And he knew they would pass because we have the majority. So what did he do? He broke the law to stop it. Now, he deserves to pay the price for it. I'm sick of it. Everybody in this country has got to be getting sick of this crap. They're running it like a banana republic. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And you know, it just keeps, you know, and as the primaries get closer and closer, and we get ready to vote for another president, guess what? More shenanigans is going to keep happening.
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse and worse. Like he says, if you don't curb it now, think about what's going to happen within the next 6, 8 months, 9 months from now. It's just absolutely absurd. I agree with you.
Nobody ever pays the price anymore.
And that's anybody.
Hey,
Byron is not just talking Democrats. He's talking anybody.
The majority of them never pay the price. I mean, I can think of 2 members of the Senate or the Congress that have paid the price in probably the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them.
Yep.
And one of them had to deal with election fraud.
Right.
And that was a Democrat. That was a presidential Democrat candidate. So, look, are you believing that we are allowing these people who the majority of Americans look up to because they run our government to be a role model, not only for our citizens, but for our children, to be allowed to break our laws and there's no consequences for it? This is a nation of laws. That's the way it's set up. If you don't have the laws that we have, you don't have a civil society.
Nope.
Pulling a fire alarm is a juvenile trick that kids used to do in high school before they actually started punishing people for it. But apparently we have Congress people that will go up there and do it and say, well, I didn't mean to do that. It was really a mistake. My foot, it was a mistake. You can't pull a fire alarm by mistake. You watch him walk in on the video, reach over there and go,
Whoops, that's a mistake.
Whoops, that's a mistake, yeah.
And to call somebody a Nazi because they want the law enforced? Are you kidding me? How many kids are going to look at that video? And I know there's probably not going to be a lot because a lot of kids don't pay any attention. This guy's not high enough profile for the kids to understand what's going on with him. But how many kids can see that video and go, oh, it's okay to pull a fire alarm?
See, that's going to be my thing there, is what repercussions is going to happen down the line with children that goes, oh, hey, I just seen this guy pull the fire alarm, so can I?
Right.
Oh,
And then
at the movie theater or
anywhere.
at a concert,
How about at the school?
At the school. And then you have somebody get hurt. And guess what? They pay the price.
Yep.
They're going to pay the price.
Yes, they
because
are.
they are not politicians.
I don't
Because
want to go
politicians
to
didn't
class.
get with it.
I don't want to go to class. Let's pull the fire alarm.
That's a classic excuse. I don't want to go to class. Pull the fire alarm.
That's it. It's okay. And they're going to go, hey, it's okay. You know, he'll be telling the uppers, it's okay because, what's his name? Jamal Bowman.
Yeah.
Pulled it. Hey, he pulled it while there was a vote going on. It's okay. It's all right. There ain't no repercussions there.
Well, I know I said it, but I've never pulled a fire alarm in school.
You never pulled a fire alarm in school?
I never did either.
I didn't either.
They had more
I
sense
see
than
you
that.
smiling though.
I knew people who did.
You knew people that did you pull it?
I've heard.
You've heard? Okay. Yeah.
I never actually pulled one myself.
Me neither.
Because
First and foremost, when I pull a fire alarm, I'm going to know exactly what the hell is going on before I pull it. Is there a fire going on? Is there something happening before I pull a fire alarm? I'm just not going to pull a fire alarm to pull a fire alarm. Why? What did Byron say in a roundabout way? It causes mass chaos. People's going to go, oh shit. Oh.
Bing! Pull the fire alarm.
Yeah, sorry about that. I know, Byron. I know you're laughing.
You got to pardon him.
Yeah,
in his old age, it started to slip.
That just slipped on me there. But hey, I caught it. I thought it said it.
Hey, that's what people do when they go,
Yeah, what is going on? And people are running around trying to get to their designated, if this happens at work or at school, to your designated spots where you're supposed to meet at, to what? To get counted, that you're still here, that you're still with us, that you're still alive. So why would you do that just to do it? Man, come on, man. Hey, that goes to the principal, Byron, Dave, and listening audience, right and wrong. Right and wrong. That's it. What he's been saying the whole time. It's either right or it's wrong. What he did was wrong. No matter what. Now you got to pay the price.
Lawful.
Well, you got to pay the price for your consequences. Right? Ain't that what you're saying? Hey, if you do that, okay. Why he did it, who knows? I don't really care.
He does. I do, because I really care why he did it. This time, and I'll tell you why. Because why he did it was to impede our government.
Yes, okay.
That's why I care about that.
Right. But what I'm saying is, as far as pimple, that's just unlawful, like you said, to be doing that. And now you add on top that was done in a vote. So now you got a misdemeanor on top of a felony charge. I don't know what that brings, but I guarantee you, if we look it up, I assure you that is time for that, for sure. It may be a year, 2 years, I don't know, but like you said,
it's a violation of federal law is what it is, to impede a session of Congress, David. And I'm trying to remember which one it was. I looked it up, and I can't remember. I can't remember which particular code it was, but he broke the law twice.
Yep, broke the law twice.
And he's still running around calling Republicans Nazis because they want to remove him because he violated our laws.
And that story will continue, I assure you. Byron, I've got some news. Can I read the news?
Yes.
I do have some sort of breaking news here.
Good. Go right ahead, brother.
So we begin in Bradford County, where the investigation continues into over 25 car burglaries that occurred over the weekend in Melrose and Keystone Heights. Nearly every vehicle entered was unlocked, and Sheriff's Office officials are reminding everyone to always lock their vehicles and keep valuables out of sight. No suspect information was immediately available. Let me say something to that, and I'll be the world's worst, Byron. You know, hey, you see me do it. I'll step out of the car and leave the thing running. I will, to keep the AC cool or whatever. And I'm the world's worst habit of that. And sometimes I don't lock it. You know what I mean? But now that I read this, I assure you, I will lock my vehicle each and every time now, and I won't leave it running unless me and Byron stand beside it.
No, you can't do it anymore. People are just...
Yeah, not unless me and you're standing beside it and we're talking.
Don't respect the law. That's what we were just talking about.
Hey, do you know Louis Bustamante? He's the state attorney who has been the division chief at the state attorney's office in Star since 2015, has been appointed as Levy County judge by Governor Ron DeSantis. His previous positions include jobs with the state attorney's office in Daytona Beach and the statewide prosecutor's office based in Tallahassee. Bustamante replaces James T. Tim Browning, who retired in May and died on September the 20th. Oh, God bless his soul. Condolence to family on that.
Yeah, condolences to his family.
Byron, who's a member of the Kiwanis Club of Stark, held their installation of officers last week, and Nelson Green will serve as the new Kiwanis president, a position he held 20 years ago. Vice president is George Conkell, while Lisa Yeater serves as the secretary, and Ed Rinsberger is the treasurer. Patricia Evans was selected as the Kiwanis Member of the Year. Anyone wishing to join is invited to the Downtown Grill Tuesdays at noon if you want to join. I thought you'll remember.
So I'm a member of the Moose Lodge and the Kiwanis. Boy, am I a busy man.
In case you were not aware, that haze that we've seen around the region is thanks to massive wildfires burning in Canada. The haziness was noticeable since Monday and lingered into Tuesday. And as of Tuesday morning, the air quality index for much of North Florida had dropped into the unhealthy category for sensitive groups. More on the air quality and the weather upcoming in a moment, which I will get to here in just a minute. Byron, I'm wondering if that's why we're having a little...
That is exactly the reason why we're having those issues.
Yep. The Federal Emergency Management Agency will conduct a nationwide test of the Emergency Alert System, EAS, and the Wireless Emergency Alert, WEA, system on October the 4th, 2023 at approximately 2:20 p.m. The test message will be sent to cell phones, televisions, and radios. All messages should indicate that this is a test. Those working in an environment prone to interruptions should take note of that. Now, Byron, here's the recap, the recall recap, featuring product recalls for the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have sinus sprays, Polaris side-by-sides, and air fryers. Okay. Biomec Sciences is voluntarily recalling all lots of Ion sinus support. Ion, Biome, is that right, Biome? Sinus, is that right? B-I-O-M-E? Biome, sinus, and restore sinus spray products due to potential bacterial contamination. Consumers with questions can call 800-332-1088. Now, what I know, Byron, what do you take? What do you normally use?
I don't take that, thank God.
Yeah.
I use generic Flonase.
Yeah, and you told me about that, and I think I'm going to start using that too. Polaris is recalling Ranger recreational off-highway vehicles and Pro XD utility vehicles, Gravely Atlas utility vehicles, and Bobcat utility vehicles due to the passenger side seatbelt buckle bracket was not properly welded, which could result in a seatbelt anchor point separating from the frame, posing an injury hazard to consumers. Anyone with questions with any of those Polaris type vehicles, call 1-800-765-2747. Finally, Secura has recalled their air fryers due to a wire connection in the air fryer that can overheat, posing fire and burn hazards. Anyone with questions or concerns can call customer service at 888-792-2360. Byron, these products plus other recalls can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we will feature recalls each week that can pose a threat to you.
Absolutely, David. That was some great updates and reports. But I want to answer Mark Udy.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll give the weather after that. Go ahead.
You know, I haven't commented on this because, quite frankly, I think it's the most ridiculous smokescreen I've ever heard of in my life.
Oh, yeah.
And we're actually hearing this on the news now. Our government is been covering up UFOs for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages and ages, right? Now they're saying that the UFOs are real, and he's saying that's more important than what I was just talking about. Honestly, I know it's a joke, but there are people out there that care more about UFOs than our laws. Oh, our government covered up the UFOs for years. It's just a reminder, just a friendly reminder. UFO stands for unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
It does not mean that it has to be a spaceship,
right,
with little cream in it.
Nope.
It does not have to be the Greys. It doesn't have to be any of that craziness that people talk about. Look, Mark, I know you're being funny, and you're right. They put up so much smoke screens, it's unbelievable. There are so many things going on with the investigation into Hunter Biden's activities and Joe's involvement with it that he's going to end up getting impeached. There's impeachment hearings in the process of being called for for Joe Biden right now. So, look, we're going to get all sort of craziness. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden we had the reversal to the 70s. Oh, we made a mistake. We're not going to burn to death anymore, and the seas are not going to dry up. We're going to freeze. We were wrong about that. They were right in the 70s. We have to do something about these carbon emissions because guess what? The Earth is going to have another ice age, and everybody's going to freeze to death. Would not surprise me at all. They use every tool they can possibly find to distract from what is really going on. And it really should alarm everybody that listens to us about our government because they are our government. They are beholden to us. We are their masters. They are not ours. And they need to be taught a lesson, and they need to start acting like it again. The first lesson is they have to have somebody somewhere in some position of power up there that goes, you broke the law, you're going to pay for it. A normal citizen would have a problem with that, and you are a normal citizen. You were just elected to be sent up to Washington, D.C. to help run our government. You are a normal citizen, and the rules apply to you. And until somebody steps in and does that, and until Congress can get enough people to go things like the insider trading laws that are valid for all of us, but not valid for Congress, until Congress fixes that, you're going to have issues.
Yep.
And that was a big one because guess what? All of those people that sit up above the Congress section, those people right there go to those Congress people and they make deals with them about their companies, their ventures, whatever they're doing with science and everything else, and they end up getting laws passed that help those people. Well, granted, okay, that's you can't stop that because those are United States citizens, and it doesn't matter whether they're part of a corporation or not. Those are made up of unless they're coming from foreign countries. Now, I have issues with that, but if it's an American company and they have representatives there, those are United States citizens that are basically lobbyists for their companies, for their future, for their family and their children. And I understand that. But if a Congress member is making money off of those ventures, that is a different story.
Right.
Because the rest of us are held to a different standard with insider trading than Congress is. It's a whole lot of things that need to be completely gotten rid of in our government, and it's entirely too big. It is not functioning the way it was intended. We have butchered our Constitution with things like income taxes and Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all of these programs that never should have existed inside of this country. And the only reason it did is because we're a bunch of good people who want to help other people. But politicians have taken advantage of that and twisted those things into things they never should have been. Because this program should have ended, I think it was like 3 or 4 years after they were instated, was the original time period those things were supposed to go on. And guess what? After the Great Depression was over, those were supposed to end.
And, yeah.
It is how many years after the Great Depression, and they're still, with the exception of the
94 years later.
But 94 years after that, Social Security still there, Medicare, Medicaid, still there. And a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy with that. But look, if you start looking at what you can do with your own money compared to what our government does with theirs, if you got the money that you put into Social Security and you were investing it wisely, how much more money you would have at your retirement? You could take the same amount of money that you put into that, used to be able to take the same amount of money that you put into Medicare and get good insurance, either through an employer or through private. But we've made it to where those insurance companies gouge everything because they know the federal government has to pay it when it comes through Medicare and Medicaid. The whole thing is a gigantic, overgrown bloated mess that needs to be whittled down back to very close to what it was originally. I mean,
AB, won't you answer that question there that Alicia and Chuck Redding? As far as we know,
well, we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's in November. It opens up in November.
And they're already starting to hire.
Yes, they're already starting to hire. How many?
Yeah,
How many?
70 people.
70 people.
Yeah.
Something like that. Look, I get extremely aggravated when I see things like that, and I get angry because I know that with things like this idiot pulling a fire alarm. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. This criminal, because that's what he is, pulling a fire alarm and impeding a congressional session. I know that if it was you or me,
oh, I know what it would be.
they would have found us the same day and we'd be sitting in a jail cell right now, waiting trial. What's he doing? He's in Congress making laws for us. That's what that man's doing right now. You have a criminal that was caught on film committing a crime. I know everybody's innocent until you're proven guilty. It's fine. Still committed a crime. Maybe. Say he's innocent of it, which is insane, but it happens. But he's still a criminal because he committed that crime. It's on video. You watch the video yourself. If you're my friend, all you got to do is go down
me ask something.
Go down my timeline. You'll find it.
Real quick. I want to ask a question. So what happens when you commit a crime? What's the next step? What happens?
They normally arrest you.
Ah!
They normally arrest you, take you to a jail cell, and you await a trial.
Unless,
or you bond out.
you bond out, unless you can bond out, and that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Why hasn't the arrest been made? And I think that's what Byron is really hammering here on this point is
put a bolo out for him, which means at all point it's.
Come on, man! They know where to find it. He was right there. He was right there, Byron. You can't tell me no different. He was sitting right there. He was doing like you said, making laws.
They're making laws. The criminals making laws for us.
All right, Byron. Now I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, it's 8:46 p.m. We're fixing to get ready to close down the show right here. It's 8:46 Eastern Time. The Byron Bagwell. Great topic tonight, by the way, Byron. Great passion on that. I love that, and I hope our viewing audience did too. The Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland, producing, and I know, producing and directing the show. And I'm your host and creator, David Rodgers. Hey, glad to have you in. Real quick, now, Byron, I'm going to give you the real deal. OTS allergy forecast. Haze from wildfires burning in Canada are being squeezed between high pressure to the northwest over Tennessee and low pressure over Bermuda, bringing that heavy smoke over Florida. So it's surging in. Now I know why me and B have been feeling the way we've been feeling. All right, here's your allergy forecast, Byron. You want to see it?
No, I don't want to see that.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I can see it already. That, yeah.
Here we go. OTS allergy forecast, David. Hey, we got a 7 for Wednesday, a 7.7 for Thursday, a 6.7 for Friday, and a 7.5 for Friday. Byron, me and you are going to be one miserable cat, aren't we?
Well, there goes what I planned on doing tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much overtime they made me stay home tomorrow.
The OTS 4-day forecast, sunny but hazy thanks to Canada's fires. Wednesday, 10% chance of rain, high of 87, low of 68. Thursday, 10% chance of rain, high of 88, low of 67. Friday, high of 89, low of 68. That's game night, Byron, for me and you. And then Saturday, with 20, a little 20% there. And then Saturday, another 20% chance, 88 for a high and 69 for a low. And that's your weather forecast. If you need any more weather information, you can go check out Austin's weather service. He provides that on Facebook. You can message him. He will give you a report, a weather report for your area or region or wherever you're at. He'll give you a updated weather report. Byron, it's been a great show. I'm glad that we had Mitchell Gunner on. Glad that he was able to promote his show and our show, which is our sister page on the Spot Motorsports media page. Wish him well as he goes race for that. Yes. when he go races this weekend, starting at the end of this week and this weekend. Hopefully he can bring back some cash and a trophy and that jacket he's been wanting, by the way.
I hope so too.
Don't forget to tune in to me and Byron if you can't go to the game on Friday night as the
Please.
Tornadoes go and play Oakleaf over at Oakleaf. Special start time, as Byron said, 6:30. Kickoff at 7. We'll be right here with you on WEAG Eagle Country 106.3. And yes, I will do that real quick, David, real quick. Me and Byron's going to draw this up. Byron, somebody told me when we say 4 wide and then the pistol or sidecar right, sidecar left. You can go ahead and explain it.
It's a spread offense, okay, which means that the players are spread, the wide receivers are spread way out, and the linemen are not all the ways together. They're a little bit separated. So you've got 4 down linemen, which is 4 people on the front of the line, including the center. And then you've got 2 wide receivers to the left-hand side of it, 2 wide receivers to the right, a quarterback in the backfield, and a running back. When he says sidecar left, the running back is on the left-hand side of the quarterback. When he says sidecar right, the running back's on the right-hand side of the quarterback.
All right, this is the pistol. And if me and Byron say 2 to the left, 2 to the right, you got a tight end or a wing back. In Bradford's case, they usually play a wing back, but I'll line him up as a tight end. This is Shanks. This is the running back. That's what a pistol looks like. David, you see that right there? That's exactly what a pistol looks like. Willie Pollard is lined up behind Shanks, and he can take it to the left or to the right. Willie Shanks can keep it on an RPO, which is a run-pass option. And there's many sets that you can run out of this.
Well, keep on holding it up.
Okay.
I want everybody to understand this. When I said 4 down linemen, there's 5 circles there. That player that's on the power side of it, the 5th person that's on there, is not a lineman. That is a tight end.
Yeah.
Or a fullback.
Yep. Or a wing back.
Or a wing back.
Yeah.
In Bradford's case, it's really a tight end.
Right.
That's how Bradford runs that. And those guys are spread out just a little bit because pistol, you can actually bring people in and run old school pistol. But what Bradford does is a version of the spread.
Yep. Yes. And that's exactly right, Byron. You hit it right.
The spread's where you spread your players throughout the whole entire field, and it becomes more difficult for the entire defense to cover. Now, there's ways to stop that too, which we can discuss too.
Yes.
Because if you have really good defenses, you could wreak havoc on the spread because you can pull people through that line really easily, which is what Bradford does with our linebackers and our linemen, and they eat quarterbacks for lunch in that.
So looking at this, sidecar left or right, I put L-O, or it looks like L-Lore. But anyway, same setup, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Wingback, tight end, sitting on the strong side. Shanks is in the shotgun. That X is Willie Pollard. What side is he on, Byron?
In that left-hand side.
That is correct.
In that position.
In that position.
So it's sidecar left.
Yep.
Now, you've heard us say things like that's sidecar right.
Right.
And heard last week. You heard something that made me happy to no end towards the end of that game against Keystone Heights.
Yep.
I said they were running power football.
Right.
Which means they bring everybody in, and they had a fullback in the backfield in something called an I formation, which they bring the fullback comes back in the backfield with the running back and the quarterback, and they use that fullback as a lead blocker. If he's offset, he's to the left, to the right of the quarterback. If he's lined up in a traditional I, all three, the quarterback, then the fullback, and then the running back are lined up straight. You don't see that very often anymore at all.
All right, we'll just say we got one out here.
I got laughed at, by the way, by somebody when I told them that formation that you're drawing up is the Jags' key to their short yardage woes. Are you kidding me? You have two backs like Jacksonville's got that are not going to pick up a yard with a lead blocker in front of them. This is a straight I formation, by the way. This is not offset I like Bradford was.
No.
Now,
So-
like I said, offset, all it means is the fullback's to one side or the other of the quarterback.
So in this particular play, like Byron just explained, this is ISO, or what we call power. Generally, Willie Pollard is the X. So you've got a receiver out to the left, out to the right. You've got your 5 guys up front right there with your tight end. Usually a wing back, or we can put him back here. Wing back's usually over here, also to the strong side. Shanks is a little bit more tighter in on the shotgun snap. Generally, he's 5 to 6 to 7 yards back. There, in this particular position and play, he's about 3 or 4 yards back.
Well,
so you can let the fullback lead.
The way they ran traditional too, because he was underneath the center when he took the snap. He was actually taking the ball from the center.
Yeah,
at the
so
snap.
we can do that.
And I want to tell you something else. This is what it originally looks like. I'm gonna tell you something else. I don't think there was 2 wide receivers, David. I think they had 2 tight ends in there.
Well, they did. They had 2 wing backs. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we went with
I think there was 1 receiver to the right.
1 receiver to the right.
And then Clark and
yeah, like this.
Brazil were there.
So Clark and Brazil is these 2 back circles right there, and then that's Pollard. And what happens here is Shanks will get it. Let's just say he's running up the A gap, as you heard me and Byron say. So this fullback will lead right out here, hit somebody here. Shanks is going to give the ball to Pollard. Pollard's just going to take it straight up the center here.
Now
that's the A gap.
Which
is an ISO play.
That is an ISO play.
Yeah.
He's saying take it up the A gap. There's more than one A gap. A gap,
Yes, there
A gap
is.
is simply on the left or the right hand side of the center. So when we say it's taking it up the A gap, it is really difficult for us to tell which side of the A gap.
Which side? Right.
That's why we don't say right side A gap, left side A gap.
Right.
You can't.
You can't really.
You can't. I mean,
no. I mean, you could. I mean, but like you said, in today's football, it really makes no sense. We just say the A gap.
The A gap.
Yeah.
He run off left to the right hand side of the center.
That's an ISO power play. That's when Bradford goes into their full power, and we'll do a couple of others.
And Lord, I love power football, and so does David.
Oh, we do. Big time.
It's missing from high school and college and pros now because everybody is so enamored with the spread. Well, guess what happened to your spread team last weekend at the University of Florida from a team that run power?
Yep. Got exposed.
It's been so long since any team run that normally. Any good team has run that normally. The teams have forgotten how to defend it.
Yep. Byron, shut the show down, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very good show tonight. Thank you for tuning in to us.
Absolutely.
Please like and follow us on Facebook, and also subscribe to us on YouTube. I hope everybody has a good week, a good weekend. And guess what? Go Big Red.
That's exactly right. Same bad time, same bad channel next week. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Next week.